Hi there everyone! I just wanted to make a quick video about some of the stuff I've been looking into regarding Ride SRM, also known as Epona SRM. It was that glitch that glitches and stuff found in like 2015 in the MM. Anyway, so if we go to the ZSR page, I can show you which video of glitches and stuff I'm talking about. So to speedruns.com/mm/SRM primer. And so we can just scroll down to Epona/Ride SRM here. Just gonna play this video for a little bit. So, glitches and stuff rides Epona into this loading plane. Once the original room unloads with the mapping smithy, Epona also unloads. Glitches and stuff does a glitch called Epona hovering to get back into this room. And then he presses A to get back on Epona, but he gets a text box that is too short to get on her in that form. Which is weird because he's human, and normally that text only comes up for Deku. A bunch of other stuff happens here, like this Zora Magic Barrier. I haven't figured out what's going on with that, but I did figure out the text box mystery. So anyway, if you want to keep watching this video, you can, on your own, but I'm going to stop that for now. And I'm going to talk about what I found with the text box. So anyway, just going to minimize that. So, I'm going to load the state here. So I've got Epona here in Terminator Field. And I'm going to equip some masks. Okay, so if I climb as human, I can just climb, no problems. If I climb as Deku, well, I have to wait for her to stop moving. In that form, you won't be able to get your... Wait, that's... not normal. Oh, I think I... Wait, one sec. Yeah, I accidentally hacked this value. Let me unhack that really quick. I will get to that value in a sec. Okay, so I just unlocked that. Okay, so now if I try to climb, this is what it normally would be in the game. You can't even reach the horse in that form. That makes sense, Deku's too short to reach. If we do Goron... In that form, if you try to ride the horse in that form, you'll flatten the poor thing. That makes sense, Goron's very big. And then if I do Zora... In that form, you won't be able to get your whole body on the horse. So, why, in the glitches and stuff video, did it think he was Deku? Well, the answer is, it didn't think he was Deku at all. But, on the other hand, what happened is... it thought Epona was Adult Epona, and not Child Epona. So I'm going to show you what happens. I can hack Epona here to be Adult Epona. It will crash after about 4 seconds, but it'll be enough to show what I'm talking about. So this value right here, the 00002, if you make that anything other than 2, it doesn't matter what it is, just as long as it's not 2, you'll create Adult Epona, and she'll crash after a few seconds, but if you press A fast enough, you can actually climb on her, or at least try to. So I'm just going to make it 0 to make it easy, but it can be anything except for 2. Okay, so I'm going to unpause and mash A and try to climb. Okay, well, so the text box didn't quite have time to appear before the crash happens. But yeah. Anyway, this is Adult Epona. She exists. If Epona plus 0x150 is anything but 2, she'll show up. And, okay, so what's going on here? Well, let me show you. So there's this table in memory. This is for the US N64 version. It's right here. So the table starts... Technically, it starts here. And so let me just explain what each one is. So, whoa, whoops, I Completely messed up that address. 1 second. What was that value? 077. Oh goodness, I forgot what it was. A6E0. Okay, there we go. So yeah, starting here. So 1804. That text box represents what happens when you're Goron Link and you try to ride Adult Epona. 1805 is what happens when you're Zora Link and you try to ride Adult Epona. 1806, that's what happens when you're Form 3, which is Deku Link, and you try to ride Adult Epona. And 1806, it's the same number, but this is what represents when you're human, which is Form 4, and you try to ride Adult Epona. So what was happening in Glitches and Stuff's video is the game just thought it was Adult Epona, because Epona got unloaded, and so something else loaded where she was, and it made that value that used to be 2 not be 2. So the game thought she was Adult Epona, and since Human was riding her, Human shouldn't be able to ride Adult Epona because Human's only a child. Human's too short to ride Adult Epona. So anyway, that's what that message was all about. And then these ones are for Child Epona. So if you're FD, Fierce D Link, and you try to ride Child Epona, it'll be 1804, which is the you'll squish it. It's the same as the Goron. This is Goron, Form 1, 1804. Zora is still 1805 as usual. And then this is Deku, 1806. Now, this text doesn't actually come up. It's not even... Well, it does represent text. It represents the town shooting gallery text, the 0400, but it doesn't come up because Human is able to ride Epona normally. Child Epona, that is. So this one represents Fierce Deity Link, and it doesn't normally come up. Fierce Deity Link for Adult Epona, and it doesn't normally come up either, and that's because Fierce Deity Link can actually ride Adult Epona. So let me demonstrate that really quickly. So I'm gonna hack the entrance value to be GOAT, just to make it easy for me to put on Fierce Deity Mask. Since we can do it in boss rooms, and GOAT, the boss fight doesn't start right away, so it's just convenience. See, I just hacked the entrance value to be 8200, that's GOAT's room. And I'm just gonna go into any loading zone, and it'll take me to GOAT, since I have that value hacked. Okay. So I'm gonna get off Epona, and I'm gonna become FD. And I'm gonna stand up against it. Okay. So I pause the game. Again, making Adult Epona makes the game crash pretty quickly, so you have to be quick about this. But I can go ahead and hack this value to anything other than 2. That's the wrong one. It's this one. There we go. So I'll just hack this to be 0. And then I'm gonna unpause and mash A so we can write Epona here. There we go. So yeah, that's about how far you can get before large Epona crashes the game. But you could see I was able to ride her as Fierce Deity without any issue. There wasn't a text box or anything. So anyway, that's basically what's going on there. And I can demonstrate this, if you would like, with the actual situation we're in. So if I load this state, I just wrote Epona into the loading plane and I unloaded her. I'm going to pull Ocarina, and then I'm going to cancel it, and then I'm going to slash Great Fairy Sword or Deku Stick. I'm sorry, I'm trying to face like out of the tunnel first. Okay, so I'm going to slash this. But before I do, let's see what this value is. It's 2. Do you see that? It's 2 right now. Okay, so now I'm gonna slash this. Whoops. I meant to slash my sword. Okay, one sec. Okay, full ocarina, cancel, and then I'm gonna slash my sword. So see how it's 2 right now on the slash? And it went to 0. And that's because something else loaded in under Epona after she got deleted. So now I'm gonna press A to get back on Epona. And you can't even reach the horse in this form. So what's that about? Well, if you look right here, this is the value I accidentally had hacked earlier, to 1805, which is the Zora text. But this 1806, this is the you can't even reach the horse in that form text, and it's what pops up as Deku for Child Epona, and for Deku and Human for Adult Epona. 1806. 1806, like that. And that's offset 116 in hexadecimal into Epona's actor. Which Epona's actor starts at 419C70 because she always allocates right after Tattle, no matter what else is loaded in the scene. So she's like Tattle, where she has like a fixed spot if she exists. So anyway, that's pretty much what I wanted to cover. I hope that all made sense. And just to leave you off for something kind of funny. One sec here. So, what happened? So I mentioned that if I hack it to have like the text that it would have as human for child, if human had text, I would get the town shooting gallery text. So let me demonstrate that. So I'm going to hack this to be 0400, which is what it was in that table that I showed. I'm going to lock those values. Okay. And now we're going to write it as a form other than human, so that way we can make text box up. So, which is fine. And now Epona will say to you, our highest score is 39. Well, good luck. And then once you clear this text box, it's going to crash. There's something you can do after that. Yeah, anyway. And then if you do the Fierce Deity box, which I think was... I don't remember anymore. 7085. It's just gonna crash instantly. The one for Fierce Deity as Adult Epona, or no, as Child Epona. Sorry. So if I hack that, it'll just crash right away. So it's a good thing that Fierce Deity is allowed to write Child Epona, or Adult Epona, because if he wasn't, then the game would just crash instantly. Instead, it crashes when Epona decides it should crash. So is it 70A5? And then... try to find Epona with this. It'll just crash. So yeah, that's what's going on with the text. It's not actually changing Human's form at all. It changed Epona's form. It changed Epona to be Adult Epona. Just because she unloaded, and so something loaded it under her. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I still don't know what's going on with the Zora Barrier, but from what I can tell, the only thing that actually gets written by Epona SRM is this highlighted value, the one that's currently 70A5. That's Epona plus 1116. So it's the low half of essentially what would be X coordinate in a normal heat unit, which would be like offset 026. This one's offset 116. So yeah, this is probably not that useful because you can't really control that well what gets written there. Like, all you can pick is what form you are when you try to get back on Epona. So if you're FD, you'll get one thing. If you're human, you'll get another. But like, it's not that manipulable, and yeah, so it doesn't seem like it would ever be that useful, but hey, it's an interesting curiosity, and now we kind of understand at least part of what's going on in that video. I still want to figure out what's going on with the Zora Barrier, but maybe we'll figure that out another day. For now, I think it's pretty safe to say that Epona SRM is probably not useful. Carry SRM definitely still seems to be the most useful one. So anyway, I'll see y'all later. Bye!